Family, welcome back to my channel. Everybody in the Gambia can own a land. Everybody in the Gambia can own a land. And everybody in the Gambia should own a land. And I'm going to show you that you can own a land in Gambia. Even if you are 20 years old, you can own a land in the Gambia. Even if you are 40, you can own land in the Gambia. Even if you are 50, you can own land in the Gambia. It doesn't matter which age you are, you can own land in the Gambia. I'm going to show you step by step how you can do that. So listen and listen carefully. To own a land is the best way to come out of poverty. If you want to come out of the poverty in the Gambia, you have to own a land. And how can you do that? So I'm going to show you a step by step how to do it exactly. So owning a land is not easy, but there are some tricks you can do to own a land in the Gambia. So in fact, you can own every year, you can own one land. So year one, you own one piece of land. You own one piece of land. Year two, you own one piece of land. Year three, you own one piece of land. And you can do these things without having millions of dollars. You can absolutely do this. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you how to do that. Let's go to my paper. I write it here how you can do that step by step. So the magic word is called fractional ownership. Fractional ownership. Fractional ownership. That is the magic word, fractional ownership. So listen and listen carefully. Every Gambian can own a land, and every Gambian should own a land. So you cannot tell me that you are 20 years old, you are 30 years old, you are 40 years old, you don't have 5 friends, only 5 friends you need to come together and participate. Let's say everybody of you guys pay $50,000. Try $50,000 times 4. You guys have 50,000 times 4. This money, you can buy a land with this money in some places in Congo. So this is the way you can own a land in the Gambia. So, but we Gambians, we Africans, we don't like to work together. If you want to own a land, you guys have to work together. Because if you're going to do it by yourself, try to find 5 friends and you guys participate in a system that everybody pay, let's say every month, 10,000. After 1 year, 5 people of you guys put that money together and buy a land 1 year. So for your year ones, you guys have 1 land. So you are 5 people, and you do this for 5 years. So you have 5 land now. So and this 5 land, you can after 5 years, you guys can share it. So everybody have his or her part. So without no big money, you can own your land. So listen and listen carefully. Gambian people, we have to work together. And if you are doing this fractional ownership, you don't need to trust anybody. Because in this world, there is no trust anywhere. In Europe, there is no trust. In Asia, there is no trust. In Africa, there is no trust. Believe me, I'm living in Germany. There is no trust in Europe. There are systems, there are laws that everybody needs to follow. If you don't follow the law or the system, they're going to punish you. That's why everybody follow the laws. So if you are doing this fractional ownership, you have to have structures, system, and law. And you have to create, let's say, a contract, an invoice that everybody is going to participate $10,000 or $5,000 a month, whatever. It can be 2,000, it can be 3,000, it can be 1,000. And you guys said, we're going to do this 5 years, and every year we're going to buy a land. And in this paper, you write everything clear down that nobody can come and say, my mom is dead, my father died, I want to take my money out. So you have to write this paper and go to a lawyer and everybody sign it. So that if somebody want to go out, they cannot do nothing about it. So there is no, in a business, there is no friendship or this is my family. If you want to do fractional ownership, you have to have system and you have to have structures. And if you have this system and these structures, it's going to work. So don't do with your friend because these are your friends, you trust them. It's not going to work. In Europe, they do things, but they have systems and they have laws. If you don't follow them, they kick you out. If you don't follow them, they take you to prison. And if you want to do business with your friend, even with your friend in Europe, you have to sign a paper. So do the same thing, and believe me, you guys gonna have a land in the Gambia. Even if you are living in the Gambia, you don't need to go to Europe. You don't need to have a big money, but you need to own land so that your family, your next generation can be safe. Thank you. Next time, I'm gonna show you how to build a house in the Gambia.